Hello, ladies and gents. Romie Reviews here. Please like, comment, subscribe. This is my review for Insecure Season 3, Episode 3. Backwards like. The episode actually starts off with Issa. She's in bed with Daniel, and Issa's fantasizing. She's daydreaming, and she thinks that in her mind, Issa, she's getting it on with Daniel. No, it's just in her mind. Even though you can see that he has that look in his eye like something can happen. Because in her mind, she was thinking she's being ate out and everything. I said, Issa! But no. So then after that, we get to Issa. She's talking with Molly. Molly's one of those people where I love seeing, fun, rich black people. And that's what Molly is. She's a fun, rich black person. You can't tell me nothing different. Molly took her dog to not just any groomer, a special groomer, so that her dog can get a massage and something else. I said, Molly, that dog's being treated better than all of us combined. Oh, hold on. Yeah, so remember last week I was a little confused as far as, was Issa actually just looking for a new apartment, looking for a new job? It was for both. And it is actually an apartment manager, which means that she would get a very reduced rate for her lease on the apartment. So that's how all that makes sense. Molly was asking her, she was like, look, I got a bite, so it could be good. We're all looking at Issa like, Issa, we love you, but what are you supposed to be doing? No, really, what are you supposed to be doing? Do you know how to do anything? Like regarding being handy with appliances, fixing stuff? Are you just going to be calling everyone? But I love the fact that Molly, she's excited about working with all black people. She's never had all or just like mainly black coworkers before, which a lot of us haven't. So that's going to be an interesting transition for her. The thing is, though, that so we'll see how that happens. But Issa starts talking about how she's sleeping in the same bed as Daniel. They're not having sex, but she did think about it. And they're connecting on a spiritual level. Mind you, Issa, why would you eat any food at a dog place? Oh, no, Lord Jesus. Jesus, fix it, Jesus. Now, we got y'all. Fun. See, the thing is, we got y'all. I guess they just changed their colors around. I didn't see a particular logo. I think they're just going with the name right now, which works. And she's there with what's Fran? Not Fran. Farrah. What's the girl's name? Yeah. So Frida. I love Frida. Frida's one of those where she really just wants to help the world. And you just have to make sure you continue to guide her in the right direction. They're at this event where all of the organizations that do the same thing that they do, just in different ways, come together to network and bring more awareness to their particular organization. They have, like I said, the We Got Y'all poster. They have little nameplates about each person, what they do, or a specialty of theirs. And Issa and Frida were just talking about how it would be nice for them to have more black people in the office, more representation in the office. And so then Frida makes a comment about, oh, but I don't think we can actually hire someone just based upon race. I think fundamentally that's illegal. And he said, yeah, but we're not wasting our money on any more black and white people. And Frida's like, duh. Like, girl, we're on the same page. So now Molly's at her job. Molly is glowing. Molly looks great. Molly has the bob. She's comfortable. She's smiling. She has herself an assistant. Life is good. Everyone, well-groomed, attractive. But immediately, when she stepped in there, I said, this was kind of older. Not old as in bad or rickety. It looks nice. It looks great. But it just felt a little bit older. And you'll know what I mean a little bit later. Because by then, Daniel, he's there with his friend, the super producer, and super producer wants to hear his stuff. They're all smiles. It's all great until Daniel starts playing his stuff. The super producer likes it. He likes it a lot, but he has suggestions. Now, as we know, Daniel is an artiste. And when you're an artiste, you don't want anyone coming in and messing with your art. And that's the problem that Daniel's having. His friend, who's more successful than him, is coming in and has the takeover spirit as far as Daniel's concerned. The beat, it didn't sound better when the friend altered it, but it definitely sounded more in line with what you would think like a hip-hop artist would do. Daniel had these flutes, and I guess he had these Swedish producers that he wanted them to keep off the track from, and there was flutes, there was chords, instrumentation, but it almost felt like it's something I would hear if I was watching a movie. Yeah, it was more so like a soundtrack movie, but like a dope one, not a generic one. And so Daniel, even though he likes the new direction the song went, he doesn't like the fact that the song was changed. Now, Issa and Frida are talking to this guy. Everything seems to be going well, but then Issa gets distracted because she sees this other group. They're called, what? The Beat Crew. And the Beat Crew, the kids are performing and they're playing music at the same time, and Issa's into it. She's excited, so she starts talking to the main person responsible, and essentially they go work with kids in the neighborhood. They're able to bring them to other musical events, have them go pursue their dreams of music, give them more opportunities, another way out. And Issa loves it. It's exciting. It's probably what she really should be doing, but she already has another job. And the thing is, you have to be very careful when you're transitioning from one thing to the other. Issa isn't going to another organization that does the same thing essentially that hers did. Issa's just trying to get out, period. But I don't think that what she's trying to do will be as fulfilling. And that's the biggest issue. So now Molly's at her job and she sees strike number one. Her assistant comes in. She's trying to print to a certain computer, essentially like a DocuSign. Her assistant says, oh, I'm sorry, we don't have DocuSign. We have Lamar. And Lamar comes at 5:30. He's supposed to be 5, but it's Lamar time. So it's 5:30 when he comes to pick up the documentation. And so Molly's like, oh, you can see that she's disturbed. But it's her first day. It's just something to get used to. She's used to something else. And that's the problem. I'm sure the organization that she chose was big because this is Molly. She's not going to go to some small firm. But maybe their way of thinking is just a little bit out of touch and a little bit dated. And that's what happens a lot of times with companies in general, but even companies like ours, kind of, where it has more minorities. Sometimes, not all the time, sometimes it's that mantra, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. But it is broke, you just don't realize it yet. Issa goes to the apartment where she's supposed to become the apartment manager. Again, she doesn't really know what that means. Or the property manager, or whatever phrasing you want to do. So the owner wants to know, hey, what do you do? What is your experience? If there's an issue with the plumbing, with the a toilet backed up, well, you just plunge it, right? I'm thinking that's one of the things. But Issa essentially is told that, hey, you have an actual degree, you went to a real college, you have real work experience, you can have the job if you want it. And Issa, while she's walking through the apartment, again, the appliances look nice, but it overall looks a little bit older, more dated, until she goes into the bathroom. She goes into the bathroom and she sees the mirror. And I feel like for her, the mirror is a reality check. And a lot of times when she looks in it, she sees a fresh start. She kind of smirks, and she also hears that it's only $750 a month compared to like $1,200. So that's more than enough for her to go and say she'll take the job. It is part-time, by the way. It is part-time. The show within the show is playing in the background, and Issa's at the laundromat with Daniel. Funny, this woman goes and starts taking out the clothing. And it's like, oh, Issa's like, oh, I'm sorry, that's my clothes. Like, oh, I'm sorry. It's like, no, don't worry about it. And then she goes to the next one and just takes them there. I'm thinking, who is this woman? that is very real. That happens at laundromats all the time. But I'm thinking, in particular, who is this woman? Daniel, he's there at the laundry. And I think this is where he has a conversation with Issa about, tells him that she's able to move out. She can afford to go. She appreciates everything that he's done. And he definitely has that look of, I don't want you to go. I actually like having you around. And they start joking around. Hee ha ha. But what matters after that is Molly. She's there at her job. And it's cool. Her coworker is there to help. Really? Because Molly was like, no, I want to get caught up on this and caught up on that. And the coworker was like, come on, I'll go and sit with you and do the work. And she was like, really? Thank you. I guess that shows solidarity that maybe she wouldn't get at her other jobs. But when she goes and talks to the ladies, she has, again, another reality check of, look, Molly, things work differently at certain places. You're at an all-black firm. And sometimes with us, it's this whole mantra of, and so, not Kelly, Molly, she's talking to the ladies, and like I said before, they're trying to tell her that maybe you're being a little too hard on your new job, mainly because of the fact that they're black, mainly because you're looking at them like, why don't you have this going on? Why don't you have that going on? Like, really? We really have to be behind on this? We really have to be behind on that? And it's true. So Kelly talks about how we've been conditioned to be harder on ourselves than on other people, other races, other ethnicities. And so then her drink is gone. She blames Issa. And I said, you know what? That's valid. Issa would snatch a drink. She poor. She hungry. She's thirsty. And then they were like, wait, the bartender took it. Oh, the black one. I said, I love Kelly. And then Kelly has a white accountant, and Tiffany has title, but she doesn't actually use it. They're a mess. They are a mess. Poor Tiffany. Well, actually, it is their fault that they have a group chat and you're not in it. But she's really mad. She's really mad. Oh my gosh, she's really... Oh, and she's pregnant, she can't drink, and she's going through it, and she's hormonal, and they're still texting about her. As he can see it, because he's so stupid. No one's right behind you. Why are you texting about someone that right behind you? Oh, okay. I love Kelly. So the conversation goes from Molly to Issa, and about, hey Issa, there's a new apartment for you. I mean, so the shower is at the YMCA, but you'll be good. Kelly has her back. She doesn't need it because now she's going to be staying with Daniel. Now she's sleeping in the same bed as Daniel. And they're all looking at her like, oh, Kelly's saying you finally found a way to pay? And then later on talks about how, so you can finally see Daniel because you don't have nut in your eye. I forgot about oh God, this show. This is different. This is the first time we've really seen each other eye to eye. No one believes that mess. So now next day, Frida and Issa are interviewing this, this really cute, this really cute brown girl. She's black, but brown girl, and Frida's super excited. And Issa's just like, oh, look, there's so many examples of how much I love my job. So then Frida said, I think Frida wanted to talk to her boss first and then maybe have the boss talk to this woman afterwards. And then the woman wanted to skinny on how it really goes down here. Because I understand you're the only black person here. Tell me what's the truth. What's really good? Issa says, the office politics, just like everywhere else where they don't really get you. And it's just like, oh, okay, fair enough. Just like everywhere else, which is messed up. But okay. And then she asked Issa, but how long have you been here? 5 years? Well, then I guess you really like it. That gave Issa a huge reality check. When you sometimes verbalize things, that's usually the confirmation that your mind needs to take the next step. So now Issa is on the website of, what was it called? The Beat? the music kids organization, because instead of just looking at that rental property jobs part-time thing, she really is now considering a move into a more active organization where her interests could be really utilized. Now Molly's in the meeting and she makes a comment about, oh, so Mike must be on CP time. And so then they said, no, actually we do our meetings 30 minutes before Mike comes in. And so she's like, 30 minutes before Mike comes in. And then someone else makes a comment about, oh, they must have done theirs early at her last job. And that's, to me, was the beginning of the end, because now Molly is the joke instead of being a part of the joke. The person who had her back earlier in the day, or yesterday, no, it was earlier in the day, looked at her, or didn't necessarily look at her, but just had that look of, uh-oh. And that's where I got nervous. I was like, Molly, you messed up, because now you're going to be on the outside. You don't know them. You don't know them. You're either going to have to go and figure out a way to drink their version of the Kool-Aid, because it's an office environment. There's always some type of Kool-Aid, always some type of politics when you're just working in a regular office. That's how it is. Next thing we know, Daniel, he didn't get the memo, because when it's time for him, super producer, to go link up with the rapper, Daniel plays his part, his version of the song first. And his friend is looking at him like, are you serious? You tried to do that on purpose to go and get leverage? But the guy then says, no. Super producer says, well, there's another version too. Even though the rapper liked Daniel's version, he ends up liking both. He can't decide. He only has a certain amount of time. So super producer starts playing a completely different track. And now Daniel is ish out of water. So now Issa, who's taken Daniel to thank him for everything that he's done for her, he's a little froggy. He's a little froggy because they're in this restaurant. Now, the waiter is a mess. I don't know why he made such an emphasis on the Asian chicken salad. I said, excuse me? Because they didn't get their drinks. This is a fancy restaurant. People who were there before them got served and they're already on to their encore. It's a lot. It's a lot. Coupled with him having the chip on his shoulder regarding what happened in the studio. And even Issa said, well, was that the right thing to do? Because that's Daniel's main issue, pride. So now he's upset with Issa. And now he's saying, look, I have a vision. I'm an artiste. I'm sorry that you don't understand what that is or how it feels like to really care about something. You bounce around from Lyft to part-time property manager to your job to at my house. You're unstable. And I said, you son of a... So now, for some reason, they're still sleeping in bed together, even though it's that very awkward, oops, I messed up. So speaking of he messed up, now he wants to make amends. Now he's kissing on her back. And then, but this is real. So then they start making out. He does go down on her again, but she stops it. And she stops it because she just feels like they're not in a good place. And I said, Issa, so you did grow up. So that's it. Please like, comment, subscribe, comment.